Last deal that we closed for through Investor Level Up, I believe the profit margin was something like 36,000, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It might have been more. It might have been more. Um, I've been serious about real estate for about 2 years. We did the flip with Pace. And then I decided to go hardcore into wholesaling. And when I decided that's what I'm doing, I started searching for the other people that were doing either key components for me to do that successfully or people that were already doing what I wanted to do. I'm great at acquisitions. I'm great at talking to people. I'm great at getting information. I literally just had a showing where the seller gave me a hug because I was able to communicate all of the things that he needed in a way that gave him benefit. Um, so it was important to me to reach out to everybody that could help me grow my business in the same breath that I could help them grow theirs. So when I found my dispo guy, I realized that I needed to triple down on bringing in hot leads. And of course, you and I have known each other for a couple of years now. So I actually went and paid for other leads. And when you and I had a conversation about that, and I told you how much I was paying, it was $200 to $300 a lead, BT dub. Um, and you said you were getting leads for a tenth of that. I was like, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Um, so we started shifting over uh, our lead budget to you, and instantly started having leads come in. Um, we've got two under contract right now. We've got one that we closed. That was the one for 36K. We've got land. I just got done on a showing for an Airbnb that I'm getting ready to pick up for my wife and I for tax reasons. Tax reasons purely. Like, we're not even looking to collect property yet, but it's the uh, natural evolution of kind of where we are in real estate. So when we started seeing the leads that you could provide us and the profit that we were getting from handling them correctly, it was kind of a no brainer. I mean, there are huge companies that pay out the nose and have zero personal touch. And with you, we've made a shit ton of money, and I can call you on a regular basis, and it's a seamless process. So it only made sense to continue down the path that was the most profitable, and luckily the most profitable path, excuse me, was me just working with a guy that I already trusted.
This deal that profited you $36,000. How fast did that lead come? I know it didn't get under contract right away, but
It
relatively
came
early, right?
relatively fast. It was great because it was actually a guy that was looking to sell his house now. He wasn't weighing his options or anything. He was literally ready to move to North Carolina immediately. Um, so I went and did the initial interview. I try to go to the property and meet the seller on as many deals as I can. Um, and we sat down and talked for about 2 hours. And he said, "Listen, I've got several people looking at this property, but I I like that you dropped everything and you drove the hour and a half to come see me. I like that you have multiple options and you're not telling me what I need to do with the property. Um, so I think I like you." And that was great. But I knew that he had offers much higher than what I was able to pay. And uh, I gave it a couple days and I called him back and he said, I think I've decided to accept an offer that's higher than what you were able to pay me, but I appreciate you. Thanks for checking in on it. We'll talk. So I thought, okay, whatever. But I know that the money's in the follow up. So I stayed in touch with him. And after about little over a week, maybe 9 or 10 days, I called him back and just said, "Hey, how did it go? Did you get your offer accepted? Or did you accept an offer? Are you guys set for close?" And he said, "Actually, I've been waiting for your call." I got a bad feeling from the guy that I was doing business with, and I was hoping that you were going to call me back, but I want to do with somebody. I want to work with somebody who's going out of their way to make sure that it's going to work and not just throwing stuff at the wall hoping it sticks. So we were able to go down there and get it under contract. It turned into a whole ordeal where um, my partner almost died, and we weren't able to get earnest money in on time, so we were technically out of contract. Uh, they went to identify the new property in North Carolina and or Virginia, so they were states away for probably 2 weeks. Couldn't get a hold of them. Couldn't get it back under contract. They were very irritated, to say the least, um, just at the whole situation. So the day that they got back into town, I was able to reach out to them, and I literally just called with the intent to see how their vacation went, because I had assumed that at this point they had picked somebody else to buy the property. And he basically said, I've got somebody else looking at it right now, but I still would like you to buy it. If you're willing to come down to Denver and sign a contract, we'll sign and we'll get this thing going again. So that was at like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. The next morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, I was on the road to go back there. We got it under contract and we closed on it on the 12th of this month. So I believe that was exactly a week ago.
The roller coaster. What a roller coaster.
Yeah, yeah, it was an absolute roller coaster. We had no idea. It was also a very volatile seller. He he made it clear from the beginning, I'm in charge. I'm the one with what you want. I'm the one with the asset that you want. I'm the one that is calling the shots here. And I kind of had to back away from that a little bit and kind of let him know. Uh, and this sounds a little counterintuitive, but basically, I let him know I'm not going to jump through hoops to buy your property. I will 100% make sure that it is profitable and equitable for everybody, but I will not be led around. And I think that he actually respected that a lot, um, and played in my favor in the long game.
People will test you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, people want to make sure that you're real, and that's one of the reasons that I try to stay as local as possible here in Colorado. Is this is the market that I know. This is the market that I grew up in, um, and I want people to know that I will drop what I'm doing and I will drive the 2 to 3 hours, whatever it takes, to make sure that I'm in the market that I want to be in. For me, this is a long term play. This is not a let's try to make a couple $100,000 quick and go party. This is me trying to establish a long lasting business in a market that I know. And frankly, as cheesy as it sounds, I love Colorado. This is my spot.
What kind of expectation would you set with people so they're successful and they also lock up a deal their first month that will end up closing for a lot of money?
Having good leads is always step one to having a profitable business. But step two, and it's a very close step two, is converting and really knowing what it is that that seller needs. Um, and it's a delicate dance because we are the professionals, but at the same time we are here for the seller. Um, so it's really what value can you bring to these leads that'll be profitable. If you're running some uh, basic investor guru script and numbers, you can miss a lot. Um, so even though the lead came in and was great, it took a tremendous amount of effort to get to know what was going to work for the seller, um, to be maximum profit for everybody.
If you can just like quickly describe what kind of lead was it? What happened with it?
So it was a lead of a guy who, and I've heard several people like this recently. They live in the metro area of Colorado, and they just don't like the things that they're seeing. So they would rather move to a place that is slower moving and more quiet, because Denver's busy and we have quick, drastic, and dramatic changes at the drop of a hat. And it's just people that have gotten tired of that. So, we did a post occupancy of 30 days on it. Nobody else had given them that option. Um, they actually, and we were willing to fulfill the things that they needed to a point that they dropped the price $10,000 from the next best offer.
Yeah.
Because I was willing to go the extra step and do what they needed, they dropped their price $10,000 for me without me even asking. I literally came to them with the top price that I could pay, and he said, "Well, why don't you pay?" I think I went to him at like 560, and he said, "Why don't you pay 550 instead? You guys are helping us out." So that goes back to the, you can be a salesman, but nobody wants to deal with a machine. People want to make a human connection. That's everybody. Everybody wants to make a human connection. So if you can make that as big a part of your company as the profit part, not only will you make more, it'll be easier.
Yeah.
It'll be so much. You won't be fighting anybody to help them. And if you are, it's not a deal worth your time.
People that have never experienced inbound leads, people that have never ran ads with us, people that have never ran ads with anyone else or ever got leads.
Mm-hmm.
They know some stuff about real estate, they know how to close deals, but they've never worked the online inbound leads,
Mm-hmm.
direct to seller. What would you tell them?
I can tell you one thing. If you are tired of asking people if they're ready to sell and being told, um, screw off, or who is this, or how did you get my number? I eliminated all of that with Investor Level Up. It allows me to be positive in my phone calls. I don't have to recover from a phone call. It does an insanely large amount for your willingness to stay on the phones, and it makes you more effective. It makes you so much more effective. If I'm having a bad day, I can jump on my leads from Investor Level Up because somebody's talking to me that wants me to help them make money, which is going to make me money.
Yeah.
So it's an entirely different ballgame. Try it out. Give it a shot. Like, this is, it's not like the other companies where you pay $2,000 for 10 leads. You pay $2,000 and you have more leads than you know what to do with. And if you pay $2,000 for leads from Investor Level Up and you don't become a professional in a year, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're literally talking to people that want to sell you their house. Figure out how to communicate with them and you'll become a pro.
Exit strategies.
Exit strategies.
Exit strategies together.
Work with somebody. You're not special. Don't create your own way to do this. They've already figured it out. Thousands of people all over the US have already figured this out. Find somebody that has the strengths that you don't have and do what other people have done to get success. Once you get to the point where you have success, then you can be special. But until then, follow the formula.
Anything else you'd like to add?
If anybody is looking to JV, you can get a hold of me at grayrockinvestmentsco.com. That's always looking for deals. Love to help new wholesalers and long-time wholesalers that are looking to just up their game a little bit. Anybody else that wants to come along, let's get some deals done.